today in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. Today on Let's Talk FGM, we're talking about the subject, ending FGM, an approach towards gender equality. Ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. The practice of cutting or mutilating parts of the female genitals is a common practice in our society. So many people engage in them, most times for different reasons, cultural, scientific, medical, etc. However, research has shown that these practices have psychological effects in the girl or the woman who has been subjected to female genital mutilation or cutting. So today on FGM, on Let's Talk FGM, we're talking to Oluwaseun Temitope, PhD, the founder of Early Childhood Care and Development, a child's rights advocate and a researcher. She's also a member and secretary to the Foundation for Promotion of Childhood Care and Development and member of Child's Protection Network Nigeria, or your state chapter. Hello, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us on Let's Talk FGM.
Good afternoon, Zanta.
Yes, thank you.
Dear listeners at home.
You're welcome. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us once again. So again, we're talking about ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. You can do well to join the conversation. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Nigeria's Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, has said that for Nigeria to achieve a majority of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, it must address issues of female genital mutilation in the country. Now, according to her, one of these targets of SDGs is gender equality, and this cannot be achieved except FGM is eliminated in the country. So, Oluwaseun, let me ask you this, being that you are a guest today, and all the questions will focus on you.
Okay.
So let me go straight into asking this, and I'm just going to go straight into we're going to start maybe from the end to the beginning.
Okay.
So how can we achieve gender equality by ending FGM? So first, I want to ask, do you think it's achievable? And if it is, how do you think we can achieve it?
Thank you. It is achievable, but it is going to be a common responsibility of everyone, both male and female, young child, adults, grandparents, government, CSO, NGOs. We all come together and stand to fight for this. It is achievable before 2030.
My heart is doing boom as you're saying what you're saying. Because it sounds like everybody needs to come together to make this work, is what you're saying.
That is a priority. That is the major thing. We have to understand. We have to think of what these girl childs are going about, what women are doing. A lot of them, for instance, let me give you an instance. When I try to carry face-to-face research, do you know that many of these young girls, even those that are married, they feel ashamed of telling you that they are the courts, except you are very close to them and they have confidence in you. That's when they tell you. Many marriages are broken due to this. Many marriages, because men, but let me be right a bit. When it comes to sexual activity, they want to feel their woman orgasm, but from research, from evidence, many of these women that have gone through these courts never reach their orgasm. So why are we doing it? What is the gain?
So this is why you say everybody has to come together to make this work, to end. So what is the gender equality perspective of female genital mutilation?
Thank you. This barbaric practice has been in existence for the past 2,000 years.
That's a really long time.
Really, really, really long time. I can't say it has origin, but it is just been attached to cultural thing, which we need to. Culture is not static. It has to be dynamic. It has to change. Look at the way we celebrate our traditional wedding. Come to the Southwest. Before, on Friday, when they do the engagement, the woman leg, oh yeah, she wants to enter this or that. But later, they bring the religion that is having a kind of spiritual wherever, and they stop it. I don't think that still exists.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. If that could stop, why can't they stop this? Why would they be denying a girl, child, or woman of enjoying their life, of being eyes with their fellow human being? Fine, you can't compare simple removal of male skin with amputation that is being done to a female child. It is not equalized at all. It is not. They have to understand what this means. Many parents, many mothers, they're not okay with it, but because they believe this cultural thing.
That's what they know.
That's what they know. They don't even know other things. They don't know what the child is going through. They don't know what the girl child is passing through. They don't know the traumatic condition they've put the child. So many mothers, they may know that the child will feel the pain during the time this is being taking place, but the subsequent consequences, they have no idea of it.
So, you mentioned the cutting of the male skin. That part. Do you think that has any kind of psychological effects or even physical harm effects that, like, female genital mutilation does on the females?
Medically, cutting a girl child has no medical reason. But the female and the male circumcision is to protect them, to prevent them from having perennial cancer, which that is justifiable.
Yes, very medical.
Yeah, very medical. So, is there any equality there? Amputating a girl child just because you want to curb sexual immorality, sexual org like that. So, there is no judgment. There is nothing that could justify that a girl child should go through such process, such procedure.
You're right about that. And I was talking earlier about one of the targets of the sustainable development goals, which is gender equality.
Yeah.
And this part says this cannot be achieved unless FGM is ended. And then I started off asking you, do you think this is something that can be done? And then you said everybody has to put hands together. So, to the best of my understanding, I'm understanding that as even these mothers who don't know exactly why they are doing what they are doing also need to put their foot down and say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. Would you say that fathers are also more interested, or also as interested in ending female genital mutilation, or they are more inclined to believe that it really does curb sexual promiscuity?
You know what? If you look at among the recently, majority of men believes that because the way they were nurtured, the way they were trained, that when that act take place, when that procedure take place on a girl child, it will curb their it will curb immorality. Yes. That is the sexual immorality is the major thing that this is centralized upon. The mother can speak to the father. The father in him, he knows it's not right, but it will be like, that is the custom in my family. That is the tradition. This is for my sisters. This is for my cousins. Like I said, even the male, the fathers, the young boys are meant to be educated to know effect. Do I get married? She know that when they get married and give birth to a female child, cutting a girl child has no significance with sexual immorality or whatever. So it is a duty of both parents. Father needs to know, they need to get exposed.
And I'll tell you why I asked this question.
Okay, thank you.
Because you said mothers deep down in their hearts of hearts, like Nigerians would say, they don't want to do this thing. But because That's what they know. That's what their mothers did to them. That's what their mothers did. So I had to ask if even these fathers, these men, because if the mothers are feeling this way, but they are doing it anyway, are the fathers not? Do they even know what's going on?
Well, thank God for awareness. If they don't know before, for a very long time now, we'll be having awareness, advocacy on stopping FGM. That should be something that should get to them and know that so this practice that has been in existence for a very long time is so harmful. Look at it, a girl child that you caught. Okay, let me give you an instance. A baby, an infant, who is just coming to the world, believing she will feel secure, she has come to a secured environment. Sorry, according to Eric Erickson, he stated that from 0 to a year, that is when a child builds a sense of security. The way you treat the child at that tender age, at infants, will let the child believe the environment he or she has come to is secured. Now, just ask me, at 8 days, maybe on the naming ceremony day or a day after the naming ceremony,
Yes.
you take the girl child. The girl, these children, they may not be able to talk, but they see the environment.
And they can feel.
And they can feel. Then you just take the child to somewhere, because the child, believing the child is a baby, it is there forever. The child will feel like, wow. The child will be looking at the mother, and you are there looking at me. It means this society I found myself, I am not secured.
At that early age.
At that early age, yes. We have different philosophers, we have different theory. We call that Eric Erickson theory of psychological development of a child from infants to 8 years. In early childhood, we deal with children, even from the pregnancy, from the conception till the child is 8. Because as an expert in ECDE, we believe in holistic development of a child. And when we are talking about that, physical development is there, social development is there, intellectual development is there, cultural development is there, emotional development is there. When a child experiences that at very tender age, you have affected the child emotional development, physical development, because you will never know. Some people, when they have a cut, by the time the cut is healing up, they will try to develop carrot scar. The scar. And some will be very big. That's why when you see some ladies, when they pierce their hair, when it's healing up, they have this carrot scar.
Yes.
Now imagine that very flexible place. When the baby was very young, you had a cut there. You don't know. You bath the baby, you take care of the baby, you believe the wound is healing. Why the wound has developed a callous scar within. So anytime the child grow up and want to menstruate, you believe that she's having menstrual cramps. Because the flow is having difficulty of coming out. Some, their flow will be coming out in the uterus or in their vagina. They'll just have just a stain of blood. Imagine that what's supposed to come out every month in full. But because you don't know that this child is having scar in the labia minora or labia majora, where you have called for the sake of culture, for the sake of what others are doing, I must do it. The head of the family said, "We do it. I must do it." So please tell me.
There's nothing to tell you, Oluwaseun. There's nothing to tell you because at this point, I'm thinking about everything you're saying, and the realities are dawning with every single thing that you're saying, because this is something that people know, but still do because they believe that's what they do, and you don't say not today. Maybe just they do, they go, forgetting that it really has harmful effects, lifelong harmful effects on these children from childhood till womanhood. So I want to ask you about this. Now, specifically, there are so many things that people have speculated that can be done to end FGM. There are lots of advocacy groups out there doing an amazing job. HACEY Health is one of them. So what can be done from the grassroots to the international stage? And I ask that question because a lot of times people refer mostly to the grassroots because they feel it's more common there because of cultural reasons and also from the grassroots till the international setting. What would you say can be done? So just end this for good.
Okay, before answering that question, you know, from the statistics, Nigeria is the third highest country that is still practicing FGM, with highest percentage of it at the southeastern part of this country, followed by the southwest. What really baffles me is that the northern people, that even they are very Nigerians.
Absolutely.
So why is it that it's being practiced in southwest, southeast, south? It's not being practiced in the northern part of the country. And we always claim that the southwestern people are more educated and the elite. So if the elite, if the educated people
are the
ones doing it, and those that we believe they are not educated as we are, though they have their own area, maybe early child marriage, things like that. But early child marriage is one of the things that leads to cutting of these girls there, so that they will not have the mentality of having sexual hug, and to keep their virginity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if Nigeria should be the third highest country, and we're working towards this, my dear, this has to start from when the children are young. Fine, some are at the risk already. We should find a way of asking them to voice out. You know, when they voice out, those that are being the victim of this, however, then we try to educate them. Some, the challenges they are facing health-wise, they do not know that is as a result of what they have experienced when they are young. And they'll be visiting maybe help people, hospital, things like that. Do you know what baffles me most? That I think 2 weeks ago I was communicating with someone. She then told me something that is so funny. I looked at her. A graduate? You telling me this? She had a young girl. She said when the girl was age 2, that until when she tried to touch a vagina, because she'll be crying, that the way she's doing, it's as if she's having sexual as a young girl. That you are here to cut. So because you are here to cut her, that's what made you feel
that she's having sexual urges at that age.
She said she will not be pampering, touching the place. That until when she did that the girl will now fall asleep. I looked at her, I said, my dear, so what is the next thing? She has to do it for her. I don't know when tears started coming out. I said, in just 2 years ago, with all this advocacy, with all this awareness, the funniest thing, she experienced the practice too. She knows the effects on her, but because she says she's afraid, so that the girl will not be misbehaving when she starts school to opposite sex, that she just have to do it. And I said, so after doing it, what she saw, I said, do you know, because that is where your mind is.
That's why you think that was the solution.
That was the solution. That is where your mind is. We are all human. When we start thinking of different things, and maybe somebody just tell us, when you do this, it's going to work. Because they have told you that if you do it, it's going to work. That's why you think it has worked.
A graduate,
a young mother,
educated
on my age. So talking about FGM is not something that maybe we just do awareness once in a week. It's something that even if you're at the bus stop, hello, how are you? Have you heard about FGM? Do you know the effects? Do you know that it has short and long time effect? Let it come to a preaching, like Pastor preached to us in the church. Like they tell us that everyone is real. Everything. So if you can make it is like preaching. Even we can go to street, house to house. Because to achieve this ahead of 2030, we still have a long way to go. And like I said, it's going to be a collective effort. You go to schools, talk to both boys and girls. I know we have civic education at the primary school level and at the secondary school level. And why was this subject introduced? The major thing is to discuss about contemporary issues in the society. I know in the curriculum we have the issue of HIV. We have
That's true.
We have cultism. Those are things that are harmful to the society, that brings insecurity. Why can't they incorporate this topic as FGM, as a topic from primary to tertiary institution? It can be like a general course at the higher institution, but it can also be embedded in civic education curriculum. So when children, and it will always be in all the classes, not that if they do it in primary 1, they will do it in primary 2. Throughout the classes in primary 1, from primary 1 to primary 6, they should have a topic related to it. Junior class from JSS 1 to SS3. So when students and pupils in school are very, very familiar with this, they would have prepared their mind that when they get married, when they get to a marriageable age, they won't allow that to happen to their female children. It has to start from the younger ones. Because the adults, they really made up their mind on it, because it's like it has been indoctrinated in many of the others that it has to be done.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We're still talking about this. And this is still Let's Talk FGM on your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
News says it all. Female Radio 91.7.
Mama Dora, bring Dora, come. Papa Dada, don't come circumcise her.
You want circumcise your pikin? You say the race of everybody don't know say circumcision no good at all. Now you want destroy your pikin life. Papa Dora, you know say person wey pay somebody to do circumcision, and person wey do the circumcision, now all of them go prison wey fit reach like 4 years, and dem fit still even pay 200,000. If you give person ordinary advice, say they do circumcision, you go fit go prison for like 2 years and still pay like 100,000 fine money. In short, tell my family that call this law enforcement agency to go arrest you. Wetin dey do no good?
You no circumcise Dora again. Papa Dada, carry your yama knife come on my house. Only self go report you.
Circumcision no good at all. As it health palaver for girls body. My people, if you hear or see person wey wan circumcise any girl, sharply go to law enforcement person near you, or make you call 0812 467 0069. Female circumcision no good. Make we join hands stop am.
Na HACEY Health Initiative through im Stop Cut project wey dey funded by United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women bring una this message.
News says it all. Female Radio 91.7.
You're welcome back. This is still Let's Talk FGM on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. I'm Semto Titilayo Ajama, and today on Let's Talk FGM, we're discussing ending FGM and approach towards achieving gender equality. I'll take that again. Ending FGM and approach towards achieving gender equality. Let's Talk FGM is an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. It's 27 minutes past the hour of 2, and you're still tuned in to Let's Talk FGM. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. If you have a question, a contribution, an observation, anything that you feel you need some level of feedback on as regards FGM, this is the place to do it. This is where to get your answers. The number again is 07000 917 917. You can do well to send a text or a WhatsApp message on to 0703 175 6537. I'm still here with my guest, and today we're talking about ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. subject is extremely important, so you need to tune in, you need to connect, and you need to learn one or two things from today. My guest is Oluwaseun Temitope-Lawal, PhD, the founder of Early Childhood Care and Development, a child's rights advocate and a researcher, also a member and secretary to the Foundation for Promotion of Childhood Care and Development, and also a member of Child Protection Network Nigeria, or your state chapter. We're still talking about ending FGM, an approach to achieving gender equality. I'm repeating that topic because very important. Let me just put it that way. Very important. So again, the number to call is 07000 917 917. Send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Since we're talking about this approach to ending gender equality, to achieving gender equality, I want to ask you this question. You maybe have not been asked this question before. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe. What do you think young boys know about FGM, if they know anything?
Well, I can't categorically say they know or they don't know. If that practice has not taken place in their presence, they may not know. But it depends on different cultural background. I mean, the way in some families they have the court at 8 days on the naming ceremony day. In some families they do it as a form of ritual to introduce a young girl to adulthood stage.
So much older than.
That's it. 18 years culturally is the marriageable age to introduce a girl to adulthood stage. So if they have siblings who is younger, definitely
they would have gotten to know that something is going on. Okay.
During that period, there is no way. Just imagine you eating your leg, because there is no way she will have a good posture when she just had a cut. You can ask, sister, are you having a boy? She may not be able to express herself. Maybe during the preparation of the whatever they need to prepare the ritual, things like that. And if that boy or if the boy child must have known, in our community, this is what they do. So they know it's a general thing. They will know, I know in some community, they will have children of so age. Maybe the head of the family would have been visiting. Baba, this. Are you preparing for your child to adulthood? During the discussion, the young boys
may have heard of it.
But those in the urban area, are you getting me now?
Yes.
They have the knowledge. Those are the rural, they might have the knowledge, but just like it's within them.
Yes, not really something that they're talking about,
except they discuss it with them at school. They can have the knowledge.
Okay, so how about young men?
Young men, they know now.
Because
they know. Let me tell you, do you know one thing?
Tell me.
I want to ask you something. Like I said from the research that we have 35% or in Nigeria, from the southeastern part of the country, that they have 35%. But they always say that, guys now, even if they don't want to marry Igbo girl, they would like to date them because they will say that maybe they are active sexually. But they always have courts there. Why are they active sexually? So what has the court done to the Igbo girls?
Absolutely nothing.
The Ijebu people don't always have a court. Are they promiscuous?
Not that I know of.
I think the issue of the person is personal thing. It's not general thing. But now, you have a young men.
Yes.
They know. But do you know some young men like, do you have a court? The girl may not be free to say it. Some say, I don't know what it means. I don't know. But they know those that have courts and those that don't have court during the process.
Absolutely.
Say no more.
Say no more.
So they say, oh, I think I have some no for the uncle disappoint on my end. Why would they give her a cut? You can understand.
Absolutely. I will tell you why I asked that question.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
because sometimes you think that they don't know. Then during interactions, you hear certain questions and just certain line of conversation, and you're asking yourself, so you know about this. So what are you doing with the knowledge that you have? Are you encouraging it? Are you not talking about? Because there are some people that are just on the fence. They're not pro FGM or not FGM. They just, if they do, no problem. If they don't, and I feel that's also one aspect of society that advocacy should also be focused on.
That is the truth. You're right.
So are there any efforts towards that, particularly for young men? Because now they go marry this women last at the end of the day.
Stop using last. When you say last, you know what follows it?
Now everybody
They go short day first.
Okay, at the end of the day, we live last.
We live last.
Okay, so because you talked about men getting frustrated in these marriages.
Yeah.
So with young men that know about this, do you still think that it makes any? Do you still think that it's fair on the side of the man, knowing that this is what must have happened to his woman, his wife, and then they're still acting out and being unnecessarily frustrated, adding to the sadness and depression that she's feeling?
Zonto, what are you saying, men? You know majority of men, what they really want to enjoy in their woman is to reach orgasm.
You did say that.
And when they can't have that from her, that is one of the psychological effects of this cult on women. You can see that it has to stop. The woman give the man all her heart, everything, just because of she never reached orgasm. They feel like, is this a woman? That is the meaning. Because except not to deceive themselves, they will believe that until when a woman reach orgasm, that's shows the effect of being a full woman. But they are fault?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I said if they know and they understand, shouldn't there be a certain level of understanding? No, it's understanding. A certain level of empathy. That's what I was saying. Yes, empathy.
Oh man, empathy. God will help them. But I think talking about advocating for this stopping of courts, it has to get to the religious level too. Yes, the church, the mosque, they should be preaching it. They should, I know, when the pastor is giving a sermon, though everybody may not adhere to whatever he says or that, what is wrong with pastor, just
of course.
But there will be some people that sermon will arrest. So maybe sometimes our religious organizations should just think of maybe on a Sunday or when they're having men forum, things like that, like the day of that Father's Day, part of the discussion.
Yes, with philosophy.
And do you know, even some men don't even know that it is the courts that is affecting the woman. Some why are you like a stick? You don't even get wet. Like when I put the flyer on my status yesterday, God bless you for this. I'm a victim. I'm just like, so I want to tell them, okay, that's something just so barbaric. That some don't get wet. From the response, some say they get wet, but they reach orgasm. Some say they don't get wet at all, no matter the foreplay.
And that's so sad.
And what does a man need in marriage to enjoy his wife? So, like I said earlier, that if this can be discussed in one forum in the church or wherever, maybe they always have some different organizations that will bring people from the health to talk to them, things like that, or just give a kind of general discussion on their well-being or not to take care of their life, if that can be inculcated in it, that okay, these are these, or let's accept our women for who they are. Because when these courts take place, they don't know. So this thing is going to be a gospel. It's going to be a gospel. We are preaching the gospel.
Like you said, even in the bus, everywhere.
It's kind of, if it's not fun, it's going to be like,
no,
what is wrong with you? But when you want to achieve something, you don't care about the environment.
Exactly.
Just pass information.
That's actually a very valid point. And I think this is something that, again, people know, but are not, they either don't think it is important enough to bring to these kinds of settings.
Yes.
Or they think that we can't be talking about something like that in this kind of place. Is it not somehow? Is it not somehow?
That's the problem we are facing when you don't give your children sex education.
That's another topic that people feel is somehow too. And
these children know more than you do. Let me give you an instance of a young girl. She's from Benin State, so she stays with her guardian. So every year, she travels to the village to celebrate with the family. It's like in their community, they do the court at age 15. So the girl is here down in the southwest already. I never know that. I just talk to them generally, most especially the girl, child, like this, maintain yourself. Then just talk about FGM. I don't know that's registered into her brain. So she traveled to the village. The man told her, your twin sister has passed through the stage, so it's your turn. She just told her mom, what do you want to do? Mom, just imagine using blade to scratch my hand. Do you know the pain I'm going to feel? You're not telling me to open my cleats and you want to cut. It can never happen. She said she fought for herself. The following year, she didn't travel home because she was thinking they will still do it. The mother was begging her. She said she's not going to come home again if that is what you want to do for me. And the mother begged her, please, my daughter, you've gone out. You're more exposed than us. At least I see you every year, December. Come home, I won't do it for you. But she said she refused to go home because she believes she don't want to just trick her to come to the house.
And still get it done regardless. All right. 20 minutes to 3 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is still FGM. Let's Talk FGM is what you're tuned into. Let's Talk FGM is an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations. Let's Talk FGM. We're discussing ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. Ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. This is focused on the subject of FGM, but with the perspective of achieving gender equality. Now, this is very important because, like it or not, whether you're pro gender equality or not, FGM is something you should know about, something you should advocate against. This is something you should talk about. This is something you should continually create awareness about. Whether you're a man or a woman, you need to talk about it. So if you're tuned in and you have any questions, you have any observations or any contributions, particularly for my guest, feel free to call the number 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537.
Àṣàkẹ́ yé sunkún olè rán pẹ́ ṣebí ìyá àgbà onígi ló fẹ́ dábẹ́ fún wọn.
Èmi ò fẹ́ dábẹ́ fún ọmọ mi. Àwọn àdúgbò ẹ̀gbà wọn wọ́n fẹ́ dábẹ́ fún ọmọ ẹ̀gbà wọn. Àwọn ọmọ fẹ́yìn ló fẹ́ dábẹ́ fún ọmọ sí gbogbo wọn dábẹ́ fún.
Ṣebí ìjọba ti ní ohun tó léwu ni. Ìjọba ti ní láti máa dábẹ́ fún obìnrin.
Ṣebí nǹkan tí wọ́n fi yé bàbá bọ́lá lọ sí ẹ̀wọ̀n ọdún mẹ́rin nígbà ọ̀nà. Ìmọ̀ràn tọ́wọ́ nínú gbogbo tí wọ́n fẹ́ tẹ̀sán àwọn olè. Ìtọ́lọ́pàá sí.
Àti ṣé ẹ ti fẹ́ kọ́mọ yín kú? Àwọn ọmọ tó ń tó léwu. Àwọn ìlàjú ló fẹ́ bá àṣà ti ṣe ọjọ́ ẹja lọ ní àdábẹ́wò ìyá àgbà onígi ń kọ́.
Iṣẹ́ òtẹ̀tẹ̀ lọ tẹ̀ náà lójú náà kan sí pé bí ká fẹ́ fọmọbìnrin tí ò dání kí wọ́n lè pàtí kí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àgbẹ̀dà fẹjọ́ wọn sùn ní. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, dídábẹ́ fọmọbìnrin ò dára rárá, ó sì kún fún un. Bí ẹ bá mọ ẹnikẹ́ni tó ń gbèrò láti dábẹ́ fọmọbìnrin, ẹ lọ sọ fún ọmọbìnrin tó bá fún ẹyin tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè nọ́mbà 0812 467 0069. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọwọ́pọ̀ láti dẹ́kun ìdábẹ́ ọmọbìnrin.
Ìjọba láti ẹ̀jẹ̀ HCL Initiative ló àtìlẹ́yìn àjọ àgbáyé United Nations platform tí o ní sí ìwà ọ̀tọ̀ sí àwọn obìnrin.
Set it all. Female Radio 91.7. If you love us, like us.
And if you don't love us, like us.
It's facebook.com/WFM
917 if you want to see what we look like. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WFM 917.
60 minutes to 3 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is still Let's Talk FGM. Let's Talk FGM is an initiative of HACEY Health Initiative in partnership with Women Radio 91.7 and funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to end violence against women. Today on Let's Talk FGM, we're still discussing ending FGM, an approach towards achieving gender equality. Again, the number to call is 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175. And to Titilayo Jama, and my guest is Protection Network Nigeria chapter. We have a call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Pastor Wilson. I'm calling from Ogun State.
Hello, Pastor Wilson. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Please, I want to greet my mother in the studio here, or my auntie in the studio here, or my mother in the studio here. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir.
You are really making points. What I want to say concerning that the initiative program which you are doing, you people been going to rural areas who doesn't have schools or who have schools. You need to lecture them about all these things because some of the men and some of the youths and the men so-called the fathers too, they normally take advantage of all these little young girls to be able to, be able to come across them. At the end of the day, they despite their opportunity for their rights. So they have to be able to know where they stand, so they begin to threaten them. So please, I want to ask you, what will the government do? That's number one, because if they get apprehended, at the end of the day, they will not do them anything and they will leave them to say it's a family issue. So that's number one. Number two, what can you people do and be able to tell them this thing that is all about in the rural area, in our system today, in Nigeria today, in the community today. So they want to know there is something on the ground which is very powerful and which is very key to the life of every woman, because every woman today, their life now is at stake. Because it's not really when they kill somebody and kill person is the answer. But by discharging somebody's dignity is very, very important, very, very dangerous, because we must have done that. What particular person I want to come and marry that person? How will you look for? How will you feel? At that will make the person will grow old. So thank you. That is my two questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Wilson. Stay tuned for her response.
Thank you very much, Pastor Wilson. Well, on the government area, yes, we are very, very good. Our government, they are very, very good in adopting various documents, treaties, international treaties, things like that. We have child rights acts, but so far, so good. According to statistics, it's only 13 states out of the 36 states in Nigeria that has adopted these child rights acts. And in 2015, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan approved Violation Against Person Prohibition Acts, which we call VAP Acts. And to date, it's only 3 states that has fully adopted that. The government are trying, and in this VAP Act, because all these international documents, whatever, they don't talk about torture and they don't talk about torture, discriminating against women. FGM is not specifically spelled out. Even Child Rights Act did not spell it out, but the VAP Act spelled out the penalty for it. For those that that cause their girl child, whether the medical or the traditional, wherever that carry out the procedure, they are meant to be sentenced for 4 years, or they pay the penalty of